Love is Blind is almost over. This very much unhinged season that was filmed in Denver just released its 10th and 11th episodes on Wednesday, and not all of the couples are going to make it to the altar. Not all of the couples made it out of these 2 episodes. Pop culture guru Rachel Krause is joining Jenny and I for a conversation about the show, and we're just going to kind of take the couples one by one and go in on them. Let's start with Joe and Madison, because I don't think anybody thought that they were going to actually get married, but I don't know. I was surprised. I thought they were going to go to the altar and he was going to say no there. Were you surprised that he cut it off?
Well, they kind of set it up as though he was going to go to the altar and then maybe not walk down the aisle. It's kind of how they teased ahead on it. So I was a little surprised at how it happened. I was not surprised that they broke up. I was surprised at how unbelievably unemotional he was when he did it. It was kind of like watching a psychopath just sit there and take it.
And did you see when she's boo-hoo crying, and he couldn't throw that stuff in his suitcase fast enough.
Yeah, and just sat there, just very no emotion, was just and she's just sobbing and don't you have anything to say to me?
He never liked her.
No.
Never wanted her.
Never. Was actively pushing her away at the reveal. I was absolutely not surprised.
He was 10 steps ahead of that breakup well before she was.
Yes, and was very clear about he didn't seem to appreciate her looks, her size, anything about her. So I was surprised that they made it as far as they did, but they did kind of make the idea that they were going to go all the way.
Exactly. Yeah. And he seems like a terrible person, but also ladies, we have to be discerning, and we have to be at our big age in our 30s and 40s to know when a man doesn't want you. To me, it was cringe watching her accept that treatment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and they certainly had some strange dynamics when they were interacting with one another, and certainly she was kind of feeding into some of his stranger behavior. But I think you can tell when somebody's very checked out from you and somebody's not paying attention to you, and he was very much uninterested from the start. So kind of a tough one to watch.
Yeah, let's move on to Jordan and Sparkle Megan. I know, Jenny, we've watched a few episodes. You're not a fan of the Sparkles.
I'm just getting caught up, so I know I'm behind. But first of all, what is that name? Sparkle Megan? What is that?
Oh,
is she a fan favorite or she
I
not?
like her now.
Because I'm new to this. You grew into it?
Yeah.
Yes, but I will maintain,
Okay.
I honestly believe that no one has ever called her Sparkle Megan until she
You
got
think
on
she
that
made
show.
it up?
Yeah, absolutely. I think she was like, I like sparkles, my name is Megan, this is how I'm going to come on the show. But I have also really grown to appreciate her, I think, because everybody else is such a train wreck.
That's right.
And she's kind of got it together.
Yeah.
She seems very together.
And I think she actually likes him. This is the only couple that I think may actually say I do, but I also don't think they're going to.
Yeah.
I don't know, that's much of a prediction.
I don't know, but
what do you think?
I think if there is any couple that I have hope that they will say I do at the altar, it is Sparkle Megan and Jordan. Now I don't know that's much of a ringing endorsement, but they do seem to genuinely care about each other and are not actively in a danger zone. So.
Yeah, and she met his son, and she does seem like an authentic person. I don't think you do that. Like his mom, you don't meet someone's kid. You don't play with that unless you have real intention. So fingers crossed for them. Let's talk Anton and Ally. They have clashed over the alcohol. When that man went and looked for the tequila, sir, you knew there was no tequila in that fridge.
Yes, absolutely. And it was really kind of interesting to see how they interacted about it, because Ally was clearly like, well, you have a beer every day after you get back from work. That's concerning for me.
And then he turns it around on her. She's going to question her. I didn't like that.
So very strange behavior. The concept that oh, I don't know where that tequila is. No, you knew where that tequila was, and also not knowing who had come over to the house, how many beers they were sharing with one another. It's the fact that he was hiding stuff and then lying about it, and then being really defensive and pushing that onto her was more of a red flag for me, more so than the actual drinking. It was the behavior behind it.
Right, they don't stand a chance. We have to talk. There's 2 other couples, but we don't have that much time. We have to talk about Nick and Annie, because what? Woo, that crash out between the both of them. I was just surprised. He was abrupt. He was like, nope, no more from you, ma'am, and ended it. Didn't see that coming. What about you?
I absolutely didn't see it coming, purely because he kept trying to reassure her of of course I love you, of course I love you, of course we're gonna do this. And then all of a sudden she's like, well, I just don't think you love me as much as I love you. And he was like, well, I don't see this going to the altar. And again, very dead face, no emotion.
I'm done.
To the point she thought he was joking. She started laughing.
It was a scene, but there's only a third couple that will make it to the altars next Wednesday, and that is Calabria and Edmmond. What are you thinking? Because I know you've had some up and down feelings about this couple.
Yeah, I've really gone up and down on them, because at first Edmmond was giving all of the red flags with the crash outs, and KB had been very even keeled. In the past 2 episodes, Edmmond was almost much more calm, and KB was really nitpicking over a lot of things and really demanding these kinds of apologies. And she had really claimed that Edmond is, of course, very different when they're filming, which, of course, could be true. But it was very interesting to see the dynamic shift because I was very firmly on on her side. And then I really kind of dialed it back and was really having a lot of empathy for Edmond and how he was handling things. So I'm very interested to see how that works, actually.
I think he says no. Excuse me, she says no. I think Denver could be the city that breaks the franchise. I think potentially no one could say yes at the altar, and that has never happened in the 9 seasons of Love is Blind.
Do they need some of this conflict though to get to the end point? Do you see this in previous seasons? I'm new to this show, so forgive me, but like, do they need to get through some of the, hard stuff before you get to the altar? Like, is it healthy for these couples? Like, it gets them there or no?
Yeah, I know.
Sounds like that's going off the track.
That's actually a hard question to answer.
Yeah,
but
like depends on like what the fight is and how you're handling it. Like, should you go through conflict to figure out how you're going to fight about stuff? Absolutely, you should. But like, depending on what you're fighting about, I don't know that some of those fights need to be happening and really kind of raise a lot of questions about the couple. So
It'll be interesting. Next Wednesday, we'll see who will say yes, watch with us, then we'll talk about it the next day, as we always do. Rachel Krause, thank you for coming in on your day off.
anytime.
Such a trooper. We love her. All right, we'll be right back.